Nice to
Nice
meet
meeting you.
you.
Your movie has everyone crying home to their parents.
Wow.
And Usa, I have a question for you. Your character, she's in so much pain physically, but she's able to hide it very well. And the more time she spends with her grandson, the more comfortable she is to show this pain to others. And so, can you just discuss your character's emotional growth throughout the movie?
อืมคือเขาบอกว่าตัวละครอาม่าค่ะจริงๆแล้วว่าเขาเหมือนมีเขาเจ็บปวดเยอะมากด้วยอาการป่วยด้วยอะไรต่างๆอะไรเงี้ยแต่เขาคือต้องเข้มแข็งแล้วเขาก็แบบเออเหมือนกลบเกินความรู้สึกนั้นได้ดีอะไรเงี้ยแต่พอเขาได้ใช้เวลากับหลานเยอะขึ้นน่ะเขาก็รู้สึกว่าเขาสบายตัวแล้วก็แบบรู้สึกโอเคขึ้นที่จะบอกว่าตัวเองรู้สึกยังไงอะไรเงี้ยค่ะเขาก็เลยอยากให้ยายลองเอ่อเล่าหน่อยว่าแบบ เหมือนตัวละครเนี้ยในเชิงอารมณ์อะมันมีพัฒนาการยังไงบ้าง
ตอนที่เราเริ่มรู้ว่าเราเป็นมะเร็งนะคะแล้วก็เข้าไประยะที่สี่แล้วเราก็คิดว่าเราคงจะอยู่กับหลานไม่ได้นานแต่เราก็พยายามทำทุกอย่างเพื่อไม่ให้ใครรู้ไม่อยากให้ใครรับรู้ว่าเราเป็นแต่พอถึงเวลานั้นจริงๆเราก็สามารถที่จะบอกให้เขารู้ว่าเราเป็นนะแต่เราก็ต้องเข้มแข็งเพื่อที่จะไม่ให้เขาเนี่ยห่วงเรามากเกินไปเราต้องทำทุกอย่างที่ว่าเรายังแข็งแรงอยู่ทำงานได้มีสามารถที่จะ อ่ากับหลานคุยกับหลานเล่นกับหลานหรือว่าไปไม่ใช่ทั้งกระทั่งจะไปขายโจ๊กก็ยังไปได้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะอืม
Um, her character, when she first realized that she has cancer and it's at, of the fourth stage, she starts realizing that her time is running out, not just time in general, but time that she gets to spend with her grandchildren and children. Nevertheless, she still has to stay strong so that people around her, her family members, won't feel, burdened or feel heavy-hearted by her illness or sickness. So she, tries to stay strong by going about her daily routine. She continues to sell congee at the market. Yeah, so that is how she copes with this newfound illness.
Thank you so much. And one of the questions the movie asks very well is, what does it mean to take care of someone? And we see that through the grandson and how his character changes throughout the movie. He becomes more self-aware. And so I wanted to know for the two of you, um, how have your personal opinions about caregiving changed over the years?
อืม
อืมคือเหมือนหนังเรื่องเนี้ยค่ะมันตั้งคำถามแหละเกี่ยวกับว่าเราจะดูแลคนอีกคนหนึ่งยังไงอะไรเงี้ยโดยเฉพาะผ่านตัวละครหลานที่เป็นหลานเอ็มเขาก็เลยถามว่าแบบพอได้เล่นหนังเรื่องนี้แล้วอ่ะยายแป๋วรู้สึกยังไงเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของการดูแลคน
อืมเพราะเราดูแลหลานมาตั้งแต่เล็กนะคะตอนที่ตั้งแต่แม้กระทั่งตัวเองจริงๆก็ดูแลหลานมาตั้งแต่เล็กๆตั้งแต่แดงๆออกมาก็มีเราก็มีความรู้สึกคือเรารักเขาห่วงใยเขาพร้อมที่จะอ่าให้ทุกอย่างกับเขาเท่าที่เราจะให้ได้ อันนี้แหละค่ะที่เราจะคอยดูแลเขาแล้วก็คือถ้าเขาประสบความสำเร็จคืออย่างในเรื่องเนี่ยเราก็อยากให้หลานเนี่ยมีงานทำที่ดีโดยที่ว่าถ้าเราไม่อยู่แล้วเนี่ยเขาจะได้สามารถยืนอยู่ได้ตัวเขาเองโดยไม่มีเรา
อืมแล้วในทางกลับกันคิดว่าเอ่มเรื่องหลานดูแลยายอย่างเงี้ยยายคิดว่ายังไงบ้างคะ
ก็มันเป็นความรู้สึกที่อบอุ่นค่ะเพราะธรรมดาแล้วเนี่ยอ่าถ้าเราป่วยเนี่ยไม่ว่าใครก็ตามเราเป็นแม่หรือว่าเป็นยายถ้าเรามีหลานคอยดูแลเรา ตอนที่เราไม่สบายเนี่ยมันก็เป็นความรู้สึกที่มีความสุขทั้งอาการป่วยทั้งหลายมันก็เบาลงไปความเจ็บความป่วยทั้งหลายมันก็เบาลงไปเหมือนกับเราก็มีแรงขึ้นมีกำลังใจดีขึ้นค่ะ
Um, so she herself has been taking care of her grandchildren since they were born. You know, she tries to give them the love and affection to the best of her ability. So it's not unconditional, but you know, she tries the best that she can. And she hopes and wishes that they would be able to secure a good and stable career so that, you know, they can take care of themselves when she passed or when their parents passed. On the other side, she always feels warm and encouraged when her grandchildren takes care of her in return. You know, it makes the feeling of you know, being ill or fatigue, it just lessens those feelings. So for her, it's this exchange that is the most precious.
Okay, very beautifully said. And what about you, Pat? How has your opinion changed?
During the writing process of the script, I had a chance to visit a lot of old town area in Bangkok, and the sight that I have been seeing a lot is that old people will be sitting in front of their house waiting for someone, or they're just waiting for their friends or even for their family to come visit them on weekend, or they're just practically just sitting because when you're living in this ตึกแถวนี่คืออะไรนะ
Row house.
row house, you don't have much ventilation, so you prefer to sit in front of the house to get ventilation and sunlight. So that's the sight that you see a lot in older town, in the old town in Bangkok. So that's when it hits me that's uh the movie itself is kind of universal in that way, that me too, I grew up in the house, in a row house, and there are like 30 of us in one house. And but as the time went by, as I get older, more and more, it started with like 30 members, but now there's only four of us: my grandmother, me, my mother, and my sister, who also live abroad now. So I think the role of taking care of your elder has changed a lot throughout the time.
Mhm.
Older people now tend to move in. If they have no one to take care of, they have to book. In Thailand, we have to book the daycare, like the daycare, like 10 years in advance minimum to get in the queue. So it has been a lot of queue, and yeah, I think that's a part of what this movie is trying to talk about.
Okay. Thank you both for your answers. Something I noticed about the family is that they live very different lives and they live far away from each other. Like they just kind of spend time when they have to. So can you, Pat, explain how you used their separation to show like the importance of shared memory? Because the further they are, it's like they don't remember anything. But the closer they get, suddenly they start to remember their childhood and all these wonderful things that their grandmother has done for them.
Okay. It's really special because it's from my own personal experience while writing the script. During the earlier period of the script writing, I tried to imagine a lot of scenes that Em and Ama would be doing together, but it's out of just fantasies. It's not based on my personal experience, and it's turned out the script became rather weak and not very impactful. So I thought that I should move back to live with my grandmother just to get the material out of her, to ask her stuff and just to be present there and observe her just for my work. So and what happened is that the longer I stay with her, I tend to remember things that I thought I already forgot. So that's I really like that feelings. So I think M might be experiencing the similar thing when he moves back to live with her grandmother. So we put it in the script, and he would constantly say that I don't remember anything, I don't remember it at all, and then suddenly when something just and he started to remember things.
Very good. And something, by the end of your film, I felt very selfish because I could see myself in M, even the small things, putting the groceries away, massaging like things you don't think about. And I know this is very specific to like Thai culture, but somehow you've connected with people from many different cultures. Like I could see my grandmother, I could see myself in M. Why do you think your story has made everyone cry, regardless of where they're from? Why do you think it's had such an emotional impact?
I think maybe it has a lot to do with the direction of the movie. That it didn't, while directing, me also in the crew, and also even in the script process, we try to come up with a movie that doesn't really press the audience, because my previous work came from TV series, and it has everything to do with controlling audience emotions. Like here you have to laugh, here you have to cry, here you have to feel like tension. And from my experience, I found that you might you might be entertained for a while watching the movie, but after the movie's end, you didn't feel much impact on you because you have been fought too much, and you didn't. And I think that the audience aren't free enough to feel something of their own. And since this story, it roots in every audience's memories. So I think it's very important to make a movie that somehow just trigger the memory of the audience instead of forcing them to feel things. So that's maybe why it worked with audience across the world. That because it's not the movie that because it's not a story I just put on them. I just try to like trigger what they already have inside them.
Okay. And just last question about the ending. He still messes up, scattering the ashes, and I took it as he wanted his grandmother to haunt him forever. Like he didn't want her to leave him. And so can you just discuss how you were able to bookend that from beginning to end?
So I always love the movie that have this, when it ends and you can feel like it's you can feel its unity, the wholeness. I always wanted to make that kind of movie, and since it's my first feature film, I really wanted to do that. The idea of the first scene that started with the cemetery and ended with the cemetery came quite early in the script, because me and my scriptwriter, we were talking a lot about what actually is this movie about, because it's about so many things, so many layers of and when we could answer that, or what exactly is this about, we thought that it must start with the cemetery and end it with the cemetery, because then it would make a full circle of life. I mean, because you have to keep doing this every year, and you see that the character will still continue to do this the year and year after the movie ends.
Okay, wonderful. I thank you all for your time today.